I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around with everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love?
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
We'll just keep talking and wait and see. So, oh, sounds like we got it.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. And that's why we check.
No, because, my goodness.
That happens sometimes.
But we discovered at ANTN that happens there too. So
Right.
have that. Everyone's not just us, you
It's
guys.
not just us. It really is.
Let
a
that
thing.
go.
Yeah,
Let that story go.
right. Just kind of curious why. So, you know what?
Well, stay curious was the message.
Okay, it was stay curious. So one of the things on that though, I had, you know how my soul tends to ride up the back of me.
Yes.
And so I told Reverend Dr. Ruth, and she decided to fix it as well. I said, this happens to me all the time. And I was waiting for some metaphysical thing to come out of her mouth about the why of my soul. And you know what she said? She said, safety pin. So sometimes
This is good.
a cigar is just a cigar.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Sometimes it just is. There are things that happen in this world, and sometimes they just happen.
And they don't have to have a whole story.
They don't have to have a whole story
You don't
behind
have
it.
to run with a whole story about it.
Yep.
Just, it is what it is, and let's move forward.
Exactly. I was very excited that I didn't get that. Yeah.
And she's the president of the Emerson New Thought or the Emerson Institute, so you
Right.
would think there would have been something.
Right.
But that is actually profound right there.
Just
At
classic
essence.
wisdom. Use a safety pin.
Use the safety rule. Next time I'll safety pin it on you. We won't have to worry about
Then we
it.
won't have to worry.
Yes.
Good
We are
morning.
fresh back, you guys. We are fresh back from an amazing retreat with our peeps.
It was nonstop, 12, 15-hour days.
20,000+ steps. Her watch says.
Yeah, like I averaged 12,000 steps a day. There were some days that were more steps than others. But yeah, for that week, I averaged, it was,
20,000.
yes. I came home with over 88,000 steps for that week, which is,
I didn't check mine, but I
yeah,
want you guys to know that our very own Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns did her first labyrinth facilitation.
yes.
And it was beautiful.
It
It
was
was
so
stunning,
awesome.
beautiful. And so many new people who had never experienced it before got to hear her words before they stepped into it. And I'm so proud of you for taking that on and doing that.
Woo!
Yes.
That was
And you
pretty
know how much
amazing.
she loves the labyrinth, so that was like a calling, a big calling, and I'm just so
It
proud
really
of you.
was.
That's what you did.
And I had an amazing team there, and big shout out to Reverend Jen Dickey.
Oh my gosh.
Who not just helped with the labyrinth, but did everything around photo-wise.
With a big
et cetera,
smile.
With a big smile on her face. While mourning, actually, she was, she had lost a dear family member and was at a memorial Saturday yesterday. So she's there this week. So while going through all of that, in addition, she was of service in such a huge way. So just many blessings, Jen, and just sending you so much love. Okay, well, here we are, back at the Unleash Your Life Studios. And Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, who is the executive director of ANTN as well, we spent some time with her, and she was amazing and getting everything set, so it really was an awesome time. But now we're all back, and you said fresh, and I thought the last thing I am after this conference is fresh.
Yeah, you're right.
I was exhilarated and exhausted. Those were the words I would have chosen.
Right? You feel spiritually exhilarated, but your body's like, put me to sleep. Like,
Yes.
Exhausted. And I actually flew back with Michelle.
Right, you guys.
But unbeknown to us that we were on the same flight. We didn't even know until I was sitting in the airport waiting. I look up and she's like this. I'm like, no, you.
Oh, too
You got last year too.
That's too funny. Yeah, so the whole integration may take a little longer than a day. I just got back last night. So
Right.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
so it's going to take a minute.
It was amazing though.
But I have things
So
to
much.
share. So
So much.
shall we get started?
Yes, we shall.
Well, do you want me to pray it or do you want to pray it?
Okay.
All righty. And you?
I will do our
Dennis. So it feels comfortable to you, just close your eyes and join in this sacred sound. And experiencing the divine. The all that is. The everything everywhere. The air that we breathe. The source that is breathing us. We are one with that. And in this sacred moment, this now moment, this present moment, where our feet are, wherever that may be, whenever that may be, we are grounded in the presence of the divine, in the creativity of the divine, the creative mind, that each and everything we ever see, feel, touch, experience is there because of source energy, because of God, because of insights, because of intuition, because of inspiration, and that we are one with that. So I speak my word for this time together, knowing that this inspiration is in, as, and through us this moment. And that each person that hears our words and participates, receives what they need to receive, and gives what they need to give. And I send blessings to teachers and leaders of all faiths everywhere, to all our colleagues that we just left, as they go forth today in their new inspiration after this week, knowing that we are all one. No matter where we are, what we believe, and who we're with, that there is only one thing happening right here, right now. And for this, I am so grateful. I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, source energy. I let it go, and I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Good morning, Amy. Thank you. Amy welcomes us back.
Good morning, Amy.
So it is good to have a cup of coffee. It is good to have a cup of coffee out of a,
Sofa Sundays mug.
I can't believe I didn't take one with me.
I didn't either. I didn't think about it.
I know.
We will travel.
But we did take our cards.
Let me say that a different way. You took our
I
cards.
did take our cards.
This chick runs around every day and gives our cards
at every meal.
from last year, and she flails them out like this and says, "Pick a card."
I say, pick an affirmation, have a blessing.
Yes,
I
love that.
And
sometimes
sometimes
people love it.
And sometimes people go, oh, I already got one. I go, don't leave your blessing on the table. I'll leave your blessing on the table.
And they're so excited they can have another one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that is this is my second year doing that. So that is kind of my ANTN thing now of what I do.
And people love getting them, and it's fun to see which card they picked up.
Right.
And Gina would go, "We wrote this?
I
Did we
know.
write this one? Oh, we're really good."
I was like, wow, that is really awesome.
I know.
We'll have to go back and listen to that one.
I know. So
So today we're talking about I trust my creative instincts.
that's what the card had said.
And before we get too far onto this, I have already posted it on Sofa Sundays. Good morning. I have already posted it on Sofa Sundays, so you can find it. But our friend, Reverend Nicholas Gunn, has created a new thought nexus that you can use as an app to put in a topic and find new thought backup for it. So a little bit like ChatGPT, however, it doesn't make it up. It is really from the books that he has in there. Now, currently on this, he only has things that the copyright is no longer there, so things that are public domain. So I just wanted to give you a little taste of what I'm talking about on this. So I put in our card, I trust my creative instincts, and then it told me a few things. It says, the first thing it tells me is how great of an affirmation it is. So thank you. Thank you for that. And it says, New Thought, Unity, and Divine Science teachings in your library. It says, here's some few concise ways to deepen and embody that trust drawn from this. Make it vivid. Form a clear inner picture. And it goes through a couple different things of how to do it. And I said, okay, great, thank you. Can you give me some quotes? And then it says, here are short, directly relevant quotes you can use to affirm I trust my creative instincts with citations to the documents in this library. Never hesitate to trust in that inner leading. We are all in the midst of supreme intelligence. It presses against the doors of our thought, waiting to be known. Ernest Holmes, Creative Mind and Success, page 75 through 76. We can all so train ourselves that we will be guided by supreme mind of the universe. This is done by sitting in the silence and knowing that the spirit is inwardly directing us. Again, Creative Mind and Success, page 88. Here's one from Schroeder. Where did it go? I just saw Schroeder. I love it. Thomas Schroeder. Trust your desires. The creative energy of the universal mind may be safely trusted to work through specializing influence of our own thought. Thomas Schroeder, The Creative Process in the Individual, page 50. So this is what I love, is it tells you exactly where it is and where to go find it.
Is this an app?
This is an app. It is called New Thought Nexus.
Got it.
And I have
He unveiled it at the retreat.
At the retreat, and I did share the newthoughtnexus.net on the website, but I asked him for the QR code so that
on the website or on the Facebook group?
On the Facebook group.
On the Facebook group.
On our
So
Facebook
it's
group.
in the Facebook group.
And I did ask him for the QR code, so I will, as soon as I get that, I will upload it to the Facebook group so that it will be easier to get the app. And just one more, because there's an Emma Curtis Hopkins, and I love Emma. For he trusted and loved his own genius. On every plan of your campaign, believe in your principles. Emma Curtis Hopkins, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, page 178. So this is amazing. And when he unveiled it, every person in the room was like, we're not worthy. Like, they were so excited about this. So, Reverend Nicholas Gunn, thank you for your genius in this world. And that's it, right? The creative process. What Nicholas found something that was lacking. Yes. His talent is in this tech world. He created something that is now going to open it up to everyone. And the other thing on that app that I forgot to mention, this shows all. Like I said, I want to search all. But if you only wanted to search Unity documents or Science of Mind documents or Divine Science documents, you could just literally just search what it was that you wanted to call from. So that was one of the things in the I trust my creative instincts that he brought, and that's why it's not full yet, because he'll have to go for copyrights and do different things, but he really wanted to unveil it at the retreat, and we got to be in the workshop and participate in that.
That's going to be a huge resource for what we do, for what any minister does.
Or just if you're a New Thought person and you're like, how do I find what I'm thinking, right? How do I find this somewhere, right? It's, yes, most have a concordance, right? That's the other thing. All the metaphysical Bibles that have been done from any of the ones are also part of this. So, yeah.
But also, what would so-and-so have to say about this? I find myself thinking that way about certain things, especially talking with my husband about stuff. My mind always says, I wonder what, I need to look up what Ernest says specifically about this, instead of trying to paraphrase or remember, I need to go look that up. What did Ernest actually say about this? And how did he translate this situation? That's going to be such a benefit to not have to go hunting for it, but to be able to go
Right.
ChatGPT or Nexus. What did Ernest Holmes say about this?
this.
And
Exactly.
can you find that for me, and then find it, and then go get to read about it. Right.
Right.
From the book.
Because
I
if
love
it's
that.
not in the Science of Mind book, the concordance isn't telling you.
That's right.
And it has to actually use the word you're looking for the concordance to tell you where it is in the
which
Science
is
of Mind
really
book.
sometimes hard to use.
It is.
Sometimes it's hard to use.
So
that.
this is
way advanced.
way advanced. Love it.
And Ernest wrote so many books, and then also Emerson, who I love to read. Emerson talked about a lot of things as well, so it'd be nice to even say, what did Emerson say about this? Because Emerson's just like Ernest, but I find Emerson's work to be very living and breathing through me. So like when I read Emerson, this turn on me.
No, I just turned mine down a little bit.
But I feel like with Emerson, I think it turns us both down because it's coming through the same speaker,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's good. But I feel like Emerson, when I'm reading Emerson, it's different every single time I read Emerson,
Oh yeah.
based on where I'm at in my own evolving. So like, you don't read a book of Emerson one time. In fact, you wouldn't even understand half of it. You'd just be reading it and find a little thing here and there or whatever. But the next time you read it, you'll be, oh, and then there was this and there was that and there was that. So it would be nice to even be able to search an Emerson work and say, like, where did Emerson talk about this, and just get right to it, because it's, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that was definitely part of the creative instincts that unfolded through the ANTN conference this year. And again, I am going to invite everybody. Come to the ANTN conference.
Oh, gosh.
It is
Make it a plan.
It is an amazing experience. You can't do it all. I've tried.
No, we can't.
Yeah, I can't do it all, even the 12-hour days. But there is so much richness to. Like I said, I haven't even integrated everything. We shared a house this year versus being in the hotel.
Very cool.
It was very cool. And I will have you know that Dakota and I stayed upstairs. Yes, stairs. That could tell you a little bit about the 20,000 steps I took, which I did not have a problem with. They were the creakiest stairs I've ever heard in my life, though. They did not have teenagers live in this house trying to stay down. No. But so there was 5 of us, and so it was me and Michelle and Dakota and Cerise and Reverend Dr. Tanya Beverly, who we don't know when she sleeps.
I don't think she sleeps.
I don't think she sleeps. This woman is a powerhouse
Yes.
of things that she does.
It's so humble, like you wouldn't even know.
You would not know that she does what she does. And we listened to them introduce her as she won an award for the Heart of Emerson in her work in the world. And her work in the world is,
How can you say
it's about helping the hungry, the unhoused, the disenfranchised, the groups that feel unapart of. I mean, like, she is literally in everything. She was the head of, I want to say the head of education in the state. Yeah, but I can't remember the title. But it just really.
I think she's retired from that.
She's retired from
But
that.
spiritually, everything you just mentioned, she's doing that in multiple channels. But
Yes.
that's not one thing that she's
That's
doing.
not
that
one thing,
feeds on
yeah.
it. Like it's this channel here, this one here,
Yes.
this one here, and we were like, oh my gosh.
We really were like, when does she sleep?
Stunned.
And then I didn't wear mine today. And then she
Oh,
makes
no,
these
I'm
really
sorry.
cool necklaces too that we got. So she was just an amazing person. She received her doctorate in consciousness there, and we were just so blessed to have her as part of
She had
our.
these beautiful necklaces that were the
The
Science of Mind symbol. And they were beautiful, and she gave everyone in the house back.
Yeah.
And I wore it just so it was just the sweetest connected thing. And I can't believe we forgot to wear that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be wearing that next
Yeah.
time for sure.
For sure.
I know. It was
She
such
was
a beautiful
definitely.
time getting to know her.
Yes.
And, we, of course, the rest of us knew each other very well, but it was nice having her here and just getting to, just a bond,
And there was such a, throughout, so going into my creative instincts thing, throughout the time period, it was about, there were a lot of questions. Our very own Reverend Dr. Michelle Zugu here started us off as the keynote speaker on Tuesday. And yeah, she rocked it. She rocked it. People were crying. It was just amazing. It was.
I didn't expect people to cry over it.
Well, they did.
Yeah, with the story on the train, I had so many people come and say, yeah, you had us crying. I'm like, wow, really? I never expected that to happen.
Right.
I didn't expect the connection there. I expected it later, but it was interesting what people receive from you.
Yes.
When you share your creative your creative instincts,
Right.
It was very interesting. You don't know. Maybe you think the impact you will make, but you really don't know. And that lends itself even more to trusting your creative instincts because you don't know what that's for and who you're going to affect and who's calling out for help in whatever areas. You don't know what that is.
And I was just looking at last week's in the note I make, the creativity is for you first.
It is.
Right?
It was.
So that was, what you had said, and you really did. That's where Set and Reset came from, was, it was for you first.
Right.
And then you made that move out, and it really was. It was a powerful keynote, powerful workshop, to move through that. And then for me, doing the workshop the second time, when we talked about moving through and out of our stories, right? What holds us back? After listening to some of these people and what they do in the world, I thought, my gosh, I've got to get rid of my phone. My phone must keep me from doing a lot because these people are moving and shaking. What am I doing with my life?
You do a lot, Missy.
I was like, wow, they're
lazy bugger.
I felt like that. I'm telling you.
I definitely was so.
I was like, are you?
Like, wow, we gotta do a lot more for our ministry.
We need to
compare and despair.
Right? Yeah, it was a compare and despair. You were
we
so.
got called out.
We did get called out on that.
Out.
Well, it's I'm telling you, it is amazing.
It was inspiring.
It was inspiring. Yeah,
we have no limits. Like
yeah.
Every talk was about the same. Was really honestly about trusting those creative instincts, trusting that inner voice within you, getting to that. No matter what else is running around out here, like getting inside. That's what that's our ministry. Begin within. We put that in everything we can. And throughout my talk, I plug that in every time I could, and it begins within. I look at you like it begins within. It begins within. That's what we stand for. Like, get back here. You don't like this? Get back here. It's always here. But everybody's talk, in a roundabout way, was saying the same thing. Get back to center. Get back to presence. Get back. Begin within. Come here, and then move.
And then move out. And the topic for the conference was deep within, right? And originally that was about, and it said mining our hidden treasures. And that was about going within the ANTN organization for our speakers and our presenters versus grabbing a keynote from outside. And it was amazing because all of these people are part of ANTN organization and part of the Emerson or the educational part of it. And then we heard of something coming up that is amazing.
I just got chills all up my
Right?
body. Yeah.
Get
excited.
They are combining.
Not combining.
Well,
Coming together.
They're coming together.
How they say it? They said still staying individual.
Right, but I was saying the resources for marketing.
There it is, yes.
They're doing a new thought marketing amongst Unity, Centers for Spiritual Living, and ANTN. And that will be coming out in 26. And it being more of a place as a directory so that new thought as a whole, you could find what you were looking for in, if you're like, I'm looking for new thought churches in Phoenix, it would find you Sofa Sundays, it would find you New Vision, it would find you Unity of Phoenix. Like, it would find all of them for you and help you. These are the teachings that are happening, or these are the workshops that are happening, that this would now be a place to help people see that we truly are a united thought process.
Right, yes. Joining forces.
Joining forces.
To be visible and accessible, and our message to get out there. Joining forces. Now, even though we're almost a little bit different in how we deliver the message and the teachings. So they're not going to combine that. They're not going to lose their individuality. So, like,
CSLs will still be CSLs.
CSLs say it
Unity
differently
will still
than
be
unity.
unity.
Yes, so that they were really clear on that. Like, don't panic. We're not merging into one thing, but we are definitely keeping our different ways. But the message is still the same. What we're trying to get out to people is still the same. People are searching for us, and they're having a difficult time finding us because we're so spread out and separate. So instead, we're joining forces and coming together
as
like
a marketing
website
situation
together. So it's just was such a nice thing here. It was well
so well received. Yeah.
Everybody's been kind of waiting for this to happen, and then it was we're talking, like now we're doing.
Yes.
Now we're all being called to really step into our message and not just be talking about it here on the phone, but actually what are we doing about it. And our dear friend Cerise gave a talk, based on one of her songs, isn't it? Or based on If Not Me Then Who.
Yes.
That's the right title, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Not Me Then Who. And so she said, she gave us a talk, and then she had a workshop, and she said, I thought to myself, I can't just talk more about the same thing I just talked about keeping on about it, doing something, and then just have a workshop where we're just sitting there talking about it again. And so instead, she created three different ways to support three different charities in the workshop. So we showed up to the workshop, we were creating toiletry bags, food bags, and also this donation way of donating so there's three different charities. And so we did something, which was like so awesome.
And meanwhile, she gives a concert while we did it. So that was amazing as well.
Beautiful process. Yeah. So that was the message. It was it was interesting to have so many different people talk about deep within, going within, deep within. But the message was they were all saying the same thing. Go within, listen to source, and do what's yours to do. Let's get going. Let's get doing.
Yes.
Let's be,
what's mine to
no
do
more
now?
talking. Let's get going. Yeah. So it was very inspirational. It's always interesting to me when people are saying the exact same things.
Right, because you don't know.
Because
you don't know. Like as we both did. Like I did my workshop and but you don't know what everyone's doing in reference to it. You just know what the theme is, right?
Yes.
And so mining our hidden treasures is not the same as let's ask ourselves some questions, go within, and have some action. Yet that is what everybody came up with. So it's very interesting to me how spirit moved in that way. Like you have a call, and then when the call goes out, how people step into it. So I did a little holy shift this morning about the creativity because I was reading this book. I've taken, her name is Amber Kulimalani Bonici. All right, so Amber, I have taken her online courses over the years and starting in 2020. And she's an amazing creative who does awesome online retreats and so much fun.
What's her name again?
Amber Kulimalani. Bonici.
You might have to put that in.
Yeah, I'll have to put her name in there and everything. So this book, it's called Creativity Unleashed, and she talks about how it came about for her to get creative, how her creativity was, and how in the beginning, when she was a little girl, she used to love to write and illustrate stories. And that's what she wanted to do. 7, 8 years old. That's what she wanted to do. And she took it to her teacher, and her teacher said, and I don't need to go any further because we know what happens, right? Then somebody said, blah, 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 and then that was it. And her teacher said, that's, pretty much what you have to be really good at it to make any money. So even though she had all these experiences after in her life where she drew something and it became the cover of something, like she had experiences where her art or her writing was celebrated. In her mind, in her soul, she was not an artist. She couldn't grasp that.
From it.
Yeah, so she did a whole different thing. Yes. And so I thought about how many times, in our lives are we told you can't sing, you can't draw, you can't write. Somebody somewhere says you can't, and we take it. Because we're in whatever space at that time period to believe it. That's the other thing. Because we don't always believe when somebody tells us we can't do something, or else we'd never move, right? We would never go anywhere. So I haven't always believed those things, but every once in a while, there are those time periods in my life where that has happened. We have low battery. Just a thing where that has happened. And so that is one of those things that I wanted to really focus on with this, I trust my creative instincts, because a lot of times we don't trust our creative instincts. We think to ourselves, ooh, this would be really fun to do a collage. This would be really fun to write a song, but I'm not musical. This would be really fun to write a book, but I can't write, because my second grade teacher told me so, or whatever the case may be. So here's a little poem or writing from Martha Graham. It says, there is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. Now that scares me. I don't want to die with my music still in me, as Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about. So that is really something that I think is so important to remember when we get that creative instinct. And that creative instinct could be with your cooking, right? I mean, I know, how many times have you created something that you never did before?
A lot of them.
Right? I mean, you're like, oh, I'm out of such and such. And then, right? I can get creative.
That's why I don't bake.
Right? You cannot get
no intuition in baking.
You cannot get as creative in baking. But you know what? I did.
You did. That's
I have done that for flavors and stuff. So yeah.
And decor.
And decor. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah. Pardon us. We're just hanging out here.
I don't know why that moved.
I love it. There it goes.
I don't know why it moved. It was
Hi.
following me around.
It was following you. Yeah.
It's like,
I
where
don't
is
know.
she
Where
going?
is she going? So, as you can tell from that we have a really cool camera that we're finally learning how to use.
Mind your own business, camera.
Yeah, it's just following you
I
around.
guess that was kind of random. I didn't know we'd do that.
Yeah. So there is the question I have is, what stops you from being creative and what starts you? Like, I know for me, what stops me is somebody telling me that's no good. Whether they didn't like what I made food-wise or, whatever. Like, if I'm feeling shaky about it, like I'm not, now once I'm good and sturdy and stuff, you can say everything you want because like, that's like telling me I have, blue hair. Like, obviously do not. So, okay. But if I'm feeling very blue-haired and you said it, then that's it. You're right. That's the end of it. And then what starts me for creativity usually is being inspired by others.
Where did I put my thing?
I don't know. It's over there.
Yeah, there, you got that.
Well, you know, for me, I've had a thing with my being on stage and performing for a very long time, primarily with singing, because I've been a singer since I can remember. So one of my very early experiences was being, I'm assuming, around 3 years old, which is very young to have a memory. But I think I remember it because I was very embarrassed. So sometimes you remember things because of the emotion that's attached to it, right? And my uncle, my great uncle, would carry a harmonica on his hip. There was a very musical family, and that's the only instrument that he could like just take wherever he wanted to go. So he always had that. And he taught me how to do the song, sing a song. And he would if he was in town and I was there, he would love to just stick me up on a chair, which he did one day, stick me up on a chair and have me sing for everybody, which I had no problem at that time doing. But I had those little frilly underpants on, and I didn't like wearing those, and my skirt was a little bit short, and my mother likes to put me in that. And when he put me up on the chair, I thought everybody could see them, and that's why I remember that experience, because I kept pulling my skirt down, thinking everybody could see my little frilly
Shame in the way.
and it made me very uncomfortable, right? So that's how I've been singing since I can remember. And most young people, and I very much went through this process, but most young people, their nasal passages are very small. And they go through a phase in their young world, I know this now, but back then I didn't know this, nor did anybody go to tell me, but they sound nasally. You ever heard a child sing? A lot of children have very nasally sound. That's because their air passages haven't opened up yet. So I went through a phase of, I had a good ear, and I was always on pitch. I had a choir teacher that always wanted to give me a lot of solos. And so she would have me sing, and then the kids would make fun of me. They'd walk around the school, plugging their nose and then mimicking whatever song that she had me sing as a solo. And after that happened a couple times, I started to refuse the solos that she'd want to give me. So sometimes she'd have kids try out for certain things, but then she'd already have me, okay, Michelle's going to do this part. So she wouldn't even have me try out. She'd already decided I was going to do something. And after I got teased and I got a little bit older, and I was starting to want people to like me, like when you get to about 7th and 8th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I stopped singing altogether. So you couldn't get me to do any solos or anything at all because it was making me very uncomfortable. And I didn't understand that eventually I was going to grow out of that. I didn't understand that was just a part of my makeup at the time. And they were just, with other kids, maybe they want the solo, maybe they were upset that this was happening and they didn't know how else to deal with however they felt. But it wasn't until high school that I was dating somebody, and he was a singer-songwriter guy, and I was helping him write this song, and all of a sudden one day he's like, here, let's do that song, and everybody's sitting around, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing it. He's like, oh, here, he puts the mic in my, hands me the mic to sing my part, and I froze in front of everybody, which was even made it worse. And I just froze up, and I just sat there, and he leans over, and he's like, that's the part, And I'm like, okay. And he goes, here, I'll start it again. I'm like, oh God. So he starts playing it again, and I'm just like, and I'm thinking the mic is, everybody's going to even hear it because this mic is in my face, and they're going to even hear how awful I sing, right? I'd always been in the choir, but you can blend. That's what I thought. Nobody can hear me. So he gets to the part again, and I'm sitting there, and I couldn't make myself even do it. I was froze completely. And he goes, okay, let's do it again. I'll sing it with you. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's torturing me, So he starts it all up again. He gets to my part, and he starts to sing with me. And I started to go with him, underneath him, and then I started hearing myself, and nobody was doing anything. Nobody started teasing me or being like, oh my God, no weird stuff happened. And then I still singing, waiting for it, nothing happened. And then it occurred to me and then he backed off, so then I just started singing it, right? But what's so funny is that even after knowing that I don't have the nasal thing anymore, I outgrew that, whatever, that still makes it very difficult for me to sing at any time. So I still, to this day, even though we did a concert, that concert was easy for me because there was a whole group, and I was with Sisters in Spirit, so I had my duo. It wasn't me by myself.
Right.
So most of my life, it's been a struggle to perform and sing, something that I dearly love to do, and I like to write music and stuff too, but for me to do that is very difficult for me because of what happened as a child. Even though I was able to dispel all of that, my creativity in that area is stunted a lot of the time because of that. But I have found ways to start by hanging on to being with others, or trying to, find my way with other people to where I can let myself shine a little bit and feel comfortable.
Right.
But there's these things that happen in our lives that can stop us from things that we are. When I was a kid, all I ever wanted to do was be a mom and a singer. That's all I wanted to be when I grew up. That was it. And so to have that stunted at such a young age and then still affect me today blows my mind. So it's like, be really careful as an adult or as anybody to another human being.
Right.
Teachers and parents who are so powerful what you say to little kids. It can be as harmless as saying, that's a great thing, but if people don't make money at that. That is horrible.
Yeah.
But you're trying to be protective and helpful. You're not walking around with your, making mean things. You're trying to be helpful, but that is actually a stopper. So be very careful, because there are lots of ways artists make money. So many ways that artists make money, and so many ways that everybody can make money with their craft. But the reason why we do it is not to make money. It's because it's innate in us,
and that's the biggest thing.
That's the sadness of stopping it.
I think what happens is when we tell a child or even an adult that, oh yeah, that's great, but you can't make money at it. It automatically says that money's more important than your creativity.
Yes.
And it's not.
No. Money will come.
Money will come.
Money will come.
Money will come. Money will go. I mean, like, money is just an
It's a
exchange
result.
of energy.
Yes.
It's just a thing.
Yes.
And and I'm not saying that I don't get nervous around money's,
Right.
flux.
Ebb and flow.
Right? That happens to me as well. However, when it comes to creativity, that is something that, I am learning more so to embrace, because it makes me feel good, right? Like, it makes me feel good to be creative, to color, to, like, I made, and I'll bring them to this month, I made these little pumpkins out of yarn and cinnamon sticks, right? But it made me feel good to do them, right? So I have these, I have a lot of them, so I'll be bringing them.
Well, God is creative.
Right.
We are all
That
creative. People that say, well, I'm not, I think we talked about this last week, like, well, I'm not very creative. That's a lie that you have believed. Because you did a drawing that didn't look like whatever it was you're drawing. That's not the only way to be creative. There's can't think of the word, but infinite ways to be creative. You are creative. You have to be creative. You're made of a creative energy. That's what you are. So it feels good when you're being creative. And the creativity doesn't have to be approved of or looked at by anybody else. It can be just for you.
Yes.
And it should be just for you, and if you all like it, good.
Right. Because it should, exactly. So I feel like that as well. It's like, my creativity is for me, to help me, just like exercise, just like feeding myself, right? All of this stuff is for me to help me. And if other people benefit too, awesome.
What an amazing thing.
That's a thing. So when we were in Michelle's workshop this last week, and we'll do our workshops again. Now that we will be doing our workshops again.
I got it how I like it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I did what you had said.
So one of the things that came up in the 8 areas for me.
So those are the 8 areas of life using the
so
set and reset. So that's what she's referring to.
So tell them what the 8 areas are. We'll
It
grab my
is
bag.
Fun, spirituality, relationships, space, which is the space around you in your home or outside. What's the other one? Work, money, personal growth, and health.
There you go. So this was my first one. My other one has different. This was my first worksheet when we did it here. And my other one has different markings, actually, because I was in a different space when I graded myself. But one of the things that someone in the workshop had said that I loved was, when it came to this balance, the life balance chart, and Michelle described that as, balance, not being everything's at 100%, because that's not balanced, right? That's, well, for me, that would be exhaustion. Okay, so to have a balance of things, and when I look at this, I'm like, oh, like when I do the equalizer on the radio, right? Like, do how I'm balancing things out. My two low ones were work and money. They were not at the level I'd like them to be. My two high ones were spirituality and fun. They definitely were there. And then this person said, and they had no idea what mine said. They were talking in reference to themselves, but they said, if you take your high ones and apply them to your low ones, you will see more of a balance. I can't remember.
You'd see a correlation.
You'd see a correlation.
Right. Maybe one's higher,
Like
one's
if
low.
you right, and it was like, so what I heard was, if you want your work and money to be better, you should put fun and spirituality in it. That's what I heard, right? And I was like, okay, I do try, but not all the time, And I thought, and what I would really love would be to have a fun spiritual job, as a minister, as a whatever in that realm, to make my money and it be my career. I would love that to be my title, And I've also learned from Mary Morrissey, do what you can where you're at with what you have. Mm-hmm. So, that became the big aha for me was, okay, let's bring who I am in fun and ministry into my work. Because I even describe it as, oh yeah, this is my off work look. And then when I go to work, I wear my khaki shorts and my polo shirts and, I still try to do a little bit, but not as much as I am. And so, okay, I'm gonna bring a little creativity to that. Let's up it.
I love how you took that. That's very cool, and I love that sharing because I hadn't thought that way before. I noticed it. So every time you share your own stuff, people may help you even move it forward even further because
right.
they're gathering, which is why we love to open the floor to everybody in here because your thoughts, we're all one, so it might not always come through up here. It's coming through out with you guys too. You guys are having spirit flow through you and coming out with what needs to be said or shared. So I love that. Yeah.
It always feels like co-creativity.
It is.
Yeah. That's how I feel
it
too.
is.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And being creative is being able to sit and do things that I do in my creative mode feels amazing. Like if I can sit all day and just create and create and create. I have so many things. God should have made me 3 people because I could get it all done. I think I would really like that. And the money doesn't flow through there just now. So then I pulled away from that and I need to go do things that make money. But yes, to wind up having it to where these things are married together would be a beautiful thing.
Right.
So that's an awareness to have. Like, how do we merge these things together? How do we get on that path? How do we have that be the reality?
Right.
So that's go within and ask some of those questions.
Yes.
That's that reset. Ask that question.
Right.
If my money came from my spirituality and my fun, what would be my next move? What would I do right now? That would be a question to ask, and then let that inner wisdom guide you to the next steps.
That is such that, asking those questions and being still enough to hear the answers. I think that's a harder thing for me to wait for. I found when we were doing visioning, the closing ceremony, and Dr. Robert Brzezinski led us through a visioning process, and doing that, to be able to hear the answers that come up, that's the big thing, right? To block out when we leave here, I gotta do blah, 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 whatever. And that was great too when Dr. Michelle Whittington had us take our little notebook thing and put these tabs, like the little, turn here type of tabs, put one on the back page and write to do. And she said, anytime you get one of those little, when I leave here I forgot to, or I need to pay the bill or whatever, she'd write it down there, just get it off your head. And I loved that because it really did allow me to okay, let me just write that down there. Don't forget food and fridge.
Just trust you're going to go back to it.
Right.
Trust you're going to look at it later.
And not keep that in your head. That allowed the creativity to flow and to be aware of spirit moving. Yeah.
Right. Always, because, and I recently saw something where they talked about sitting. If that question, like if you ask yourself a reset question and it doesn't, you can't get the hit right away. Or say like the brain just floods all this stuff, because that's what happens. The ego starts to say, well, you can't because of this, and then remember the last time we did that, and here, do this, and do this, and do this. Like all of a sudden, all this stuff just starts coming out. That's not where the answer will come from. The real answer comes from here. It comes from being present. So you wouldn't be feeling anxious or stressed or hurried or upset or scared, or none of those things would be happening if the answer comes from here. And sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes you get the answer just like that.
Sure.
Usually it comes back. But if I'm in the moment, but if I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask this question, whatever. Now my brain's all involved and I can't get this. But if you can spend, so it's an important question, and you really need that divine answer. Then I would recommend about 30 minutes of time by yourself. No distractions, no TV, no thinking about something else. Just try to let yourself get all that garbage out of the way. Have your to-do, like write anything, dump your brain, and just try to get to where you can speak, you can hear it, and it can have some space. It will come. It's very interesting. And sometimes it happens while you're driving.
Yeah.
I get that a lot when I'm driving. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pull over and write down a whole bunch of stuff because
Mine happens in the bathroom.
See?
Yeah, so
In your bathtub.
in my bathtub usually. So my mirror has become my notebook. That's where I write things. I have dry erase markers in there so that I can write them, whether it's what I need to remember to pack for a thing or something.
You keep dry erase stickers there.
I
That's
send
do.
myself emails all the time.
Yeah.
Emails.
Okay, I don't want to forget this. I'll just put in an email to myself. And
There
then
you
next time
go.
I open up my email,
Yeah.
there it'll be.
Anne says she sends herself emails all the time, so it's on that list. Yeah.
There is a place in my phone for notes. I have seen it.
Yeah, I never remember to go to it.
No, and if I write something there, I'll forget it because it's not the place I do
No, I
it. So yes.
I'll be driving and I'll say, "Hey Siri, take
Yeah.
a note," and then Siri pops up and then I tell it everything that's in my head,
Yeah.
and it will say, "Your note says blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then I'll know. I'll look at it as soon as I stop the car. I can go look at it, and that's the note. That's the thing I need to remember and want to remember.
So I wanted to share just briefly about my Sacred Selfies workshop because the thing that happened here with Alexa happened there, and it was hysterical. So because I was using my phone and I was on Amazon Music playing music, and one of the questions in Sacred Selfies is it's like, what is it that I want to be, or I can't even remember now, but it's something in reference to who I want to be. Who am I becoming? Who am I becoming in the transition part? Who am I becoming? And when we did it here, Michelle Whittington has her Alexa out there, and she goes, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that." And so, sure enough, she did it again because I was playing, and I was like, "And who are you becoming?" And then Alexa pops in and goes, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that." And I just started cracking up because no, she cannot.
She cannot help
She
you.
cannot help you with that. That is an inside job. Thank you. Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yes.
Very helpful. Yes. Thank you, Alexa, for that.
Yes.
You cannot help.
But they didn't understand why. I mean, they laughed. I thought it was funny to begin with, but I just thought it was funny because it was now the second time it happened to me.
That's
So
Yeah.
yeah, that is now part of the the thing. And then the other thing that now will become part of the labyrinth is we had some issues with batteries.
Oh.
And so
With the candles.
with the candles. So the candles were all empty of batteries and we had to go get them. We thought they were there, they weren't, but whatever. So we were doing that. So we took the bottoms off and set the candles where we wanted, waiting on the batteries. And so all the candles were upside down. Okay? So we could put the batteries in them. Well, we got all the batteries in, everything's beautiful and everything. It's the end. My last two people are walking. And, I'm waiting. 1, 2, they're done. They leave. We're all done. We're like high-fiving each other. It's done. It's 2 hours later, whatever. And I look down the row, and there's one that's still upside down. And now I'm cracking up because
There was one?
there was one upside down. And I said, so now, from now on, every time we do the candle lighting, we'll have to leave one upside down as part of our.
Was it lit?
Yeah, it was turned on. Yeah, and it was upside down. It was great. I don't know if that was an us thing or somebody might have knocked it over and then put it the wrong way back. I'm not sure, but at the end there was one upside down, and I decided that's going to be part of our. That's going to be part of our laughter thing.
Oh, Spirit, how
Yes.
funny you are.
Right.
So
Keep my
funny.
joy and laughter all the
Yes,
time.
There you go, see?
Yep.
That's very good. And then we're, wow.
Yeah. So anything.
Anything else? Anything coming up for anybody?
Really good. All right.
They look good. They look good.
Me too. All right.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right.
Good eyes. Take a deep breath. Just release. Recognizing one power, one source, one life, one energy. It is creative. It is love. It is peace. It is joy. It is all there is. It is all we could be made of. Therefore, we are creative. We are joy. We are peace. We are love. And as I speak my word from that knowing, from our truth, I set the law of God in motion for all of us, knowing that as we allow ourselves to rest in that truth, to rest in our creativity, our love, our joy, our peace, allowing it to move in as and through us, allowing it to be, knowing that we don't find it, we don't look for it, we don't create it, we are already it. It is already our essence. We just need to allow it. We need to allow a way for it through our lives, through us. And I'm grateful for each one of us, for each individual unique expression. What each of us brings from within to the world. I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful for the love, the laughter, the sharing here this morning. And know that it is divinely guided. And it is blessed. So let it go. Knowing it's already done in the mind of God. And together we say,
And
So it is. Thank you.
well now, I still feel like we haven't been on this one forever. We felt like a month or so.
By Tuesday, I felt like we'd been there a week,
I know.
and we had arrived Monday night.
Yes.
So yeah, I do feel like that. But in case you would like to support us here on the sofa,
If you felt something happening here this morning, if you felt
Fed.
spiritually nourished and fed, with the sharings, with what we bring through our time here. We would love for you to join us.
Yes.
There's many ways you can support us in that.
And the first one is, come on down. You can be the next contestant on Sofa Sundays. We are located, which I forgot to say, at 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona 85020. And building A1, you'll know because the girls are on the door. We are here by 10:30 at the latest, I think. And you are never late on the sofa, so come on down if you're in the Phoenix area. And if you are watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe, tell your friends, share us, and join us in our Facebook group, Sofa Sundays.
We would love to see you there. We would love for you to get the word out that we're doing stuff. But when you like and share and comment or even put a GIF on any of the things that we have going on in our Sofa Sundays Facebook group, it tells Facebook that something's going on. And they will start to share us as well. Let's get this message out. Let's help each other create a life we love. We love for you to be a part of that. So thank you so much for all your support in whatever way that you can. And if you are able to support us financially, you can also become a spiritual church club partner. Get one of our fun mugs. Woohoo! You know, coffee tastes so good out of that.
Tastes
Free
so
stuff.
good.
Yes, free stuff. You get free stuff. One of our Sofa Sundays charms. And whenever we do workshops or classes, it's always complimentary to our partners because we help each other grow this ministry so that we can benefit all of each other in this ministry. So if you feel called to do that, you can visit our website at beginwithinministries.com and scroll down to the bottom of the page and you can fill out the donation there. It's a it's a monthly donation of $45 a month for an individual or $75 a month for a family or a couple. And then if that's not something you can do right now, even just any donation helps us. So we just really appreciate that support. But my favorite thing too is if you could come see us in person.
Come see us in
We'd love to
person.
see you.
So I can get some hugs.
That's right, and need hugs. We all need hugs. We love to give hugs here.
Yes. We'd love to see you in person. If you can.
Yep. Alrighty. And with all that, we'll see you next week.
Love you all.
Bye.
Where's the video?
Woo.
There it is.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.